Why do you keep ending up in almost relationships, or otherwise known as situationships, right? Where everything looks, smells, and feels just as real as an actual relationship, but it's not. You're not really committed to each other. But the worst part is you want to be committed to them, but they're not trying to go through that step with you just yet, or if ever, right? And I know it sounds comforting to say, well, yeah, this is just my luck. This is who I always attract. And, it's just how it always goes for me or whatever. And it's comforting, but there's actually a reason why you keep winding up in this kind of situation. So I'm gonna give you the three core reasons why you keep winding up in situationships right now. The first big reason is you're accepting relationship behavior without relationship commitment. Now, understand what this means. This is you're accepting their treatment of you or towards you that is in a relationship type of light, at least the way you see a committed relationship being, right? Because this is how our emotions get all wrapped up and entangled into that person, to where we get really invested without the commitment because we're getting relationship type of experiences from this person. So you start to emotionally invest. So it's the experience you're getting from them, and you're giving up a relationship caliber experience to them without them having to actually claim a relationship with you. Now, we all know there's people out there that are intentionally and actively seeking a committed relationship. So, it's easy for them. But why would someone that maybe hasn't consciously got there to that space yet, or maybe it's even subconscious to where they're not ready for a committed relationship, why would they ever, make a final decision to get off the fence and make a choice to either commit to you or not, if they're getting all the benefits of a committed relationship from you without actually having to commit? What's going to hold them to something to where they actually are motivated to step up and take that step to get access to what's on the other side of committing to you? And so you have to think about it. There's no other side to gain access to with you, because they're getting all the access currently with their current level of commitment, even if that commitment is just an emotional one, even if it's just a commitment of their time. But if it's not a verbal and a conscious acknowledgement and commitment to you, the individual, then now it's not effectively what you want it to be. You have to ask yourself, if you could drive a car for free, right? Why would you ever pay full price for it? If you have all this access to the vehicle without having to pay the investment price for that vehicle, right? So you have to stop acting like a girlfriend or a boyfriend whenever that's not actually what you are to this person, right? If that is not the title you hold, then you can't give the type of value or the experience that you would only give if someone were to give you that title. The second thing you're doing is ignoring red flags and hoping they'll change magically, right? Because you like them. Most situationships start from mixed signals, inconsistency, and lack of effort. But instead of you stopping right there, you keep proceeding forward anyways on this whim or this wish, this dream that they're going to get serious at some point and start turning the corner because they're going to see your value and see how worth it is and all the things. If someone isn't clear about their intentions to be serious with you early, then it's probably because they don't actually have serious intentions with you or for you, or at least they're not in their foreseeable future. So therefore they can't give that to you, right? This is why you have to always pair someone's words with their actions, right? And look at what the pattern is. What is the reality? If they're not claiming you, right? If they're not willing to claim you in a way that you require, then believe them. They're not claiming you, right? That's the truth. Don't hang on. Don't try to make something more out of it. Don't try to squeeze this narrative that lets you hold on to hope and all those things. All you're doing is deluding yourself, lying to yourself, and setting yourself up for a failure, right? You're setting yourself up for pain, to go through a rough learning experience that you can definitely avoid. Now I always love that life's the greatest teacher we'll get, right? Life's always happening for you, not to you, but you don't have to ignorantly run into your lessons, right? You can be more enlightened. You can be aware. So it's not a matter of what you don't know sometimes, it's what you're not willing to face, what you're ignoring, what you're avoiding. Stop running from things that are obvious signs and things that sticks out to you. And for anyone, it would be like, okay, this is clearly not making sense, right? Oftentimes, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense in people's dating experience, and they keep on going forward with that person instead of stopping things and slowing it down until it either does make sense or just going a whole other direction. So if they're saying to you, yeah, I think you're great and I want to work towards a committed relationship with you, that's the track we're on, but you're not seeing the actions that follows it, right? That shows they're actually taking tangible steps to progressively move towards that end result, or they're not being proactive on their end about bringing conversations to you about the next step, then it's because they're not really trying to take the next step, right? People, one of the easiest things is people will jump and do what they consciously or even subconsciously feel in their nervous system will benefit them, right? It's really what dictates our fight, flight, or freeze response. So if someone really is in love with you and wants to go to that next step and there's no issues on their end and all that stuff, then they're going to be moving towards that progressively, or at least consistently, or taking proactive steps. It's not going to feel hesitant. It's not going to be confusing and awkwardly slow, or just, you're trying to figure out what's taking so long, or we feel this connection and vibe. Why are we not getting to that next step? But this is also why you have to make sure the words and the actions match, because some people feel, well, they haven't committed to me verbally yet and made that to cross that, threshold, but they do everything else and treat me like their boyfriend or like their girlfriend, right? We go out, we're in public, we hold hands, we go on trips, we introduce each other to family and friends and things like that, and all sorts of things, right? That sounds great. But if they're doing all those actions, then why not have the verbal commitment? What they're saying to you is, well, yes, I love all this relationship type stuff, but I get to feel a little sense of safety and security for myself personally, that if I haven't verbally said to you, we're committed, and I keep saying, hey, we're not committed yet, even though I'm doing all the committed like things, then I'm off the hook. I don't have to be accountable for if I one day decide I don't want to do this anymore and I go a different direction. Or if someone else comes along and catches my eye and I feel like I might be better off investing there, then no hard feelings, right? I didn't commit to you, even though we were doing everything that screams commitment on them, energetic, mental, and emotional level. And the third, and probably the biggest reason why you keep winding up in these situationships, or you're stuck in that one you're in right now, this might sting a little. You might not want to hear this one, but you are more afraid of losing them than you are of wasting your time. You are more concerned about them not being in your life than the time you are investing that will most likely not give you the outcome or turn out in the fairy tale ending that you actually want to have. And you can't get that time back. And whoever could have been good for you, you missed them. It matters more to you. You're more fearful of losing that person than your time. And that is an issue. Almost relationships or situationships thrive best when one person, at least in the equation, is scared to walk away, right? And the other person notices this, and now they never have to choose you fully, right? Because whether it's a conscious or subconscious thing, whenever they recognize you're too scared to leave, right, then now they don't have a reason to make a decision, right? They get to sit in whatever comfort space they're in. Now, yes, there's some people out there that are really being disingenuous, and they intentionally and consciously know that they're doing this and know that you love them to pieces and that you're scared to lose them. So they play off of that, right? In an unhealthy or toxic way. But then there's other people that are not necessarily the healthiest, but they're not intentionally and consciously trying to do this with you. They're just maybe subconsciously struggling with commitment. Maybe they have commitment issues. And so they like you all the things, and they love doing the boyfriend, girlfriend things and all the committed type of stuff because they really deep down want that commitment. But to actually take that step means something scary for them internally. It means they might be hurt again or something deep that they haven't necessarily uncovered. So it's a really comforting thing to be able to sit in this space of limbo with you and have all the benefits without actually committing to you. And so if you don't move them to have to make a choice, they'll gladly sit there because it nurtures their unhealed wounds. And so therefore, they're going to go and coddle those wounds instead of trying to make a decision that serves both of you best. What's the fix? Never give your partner, this person you're in a situationship with, the idea that there's no circumstance in which you'll leave or that you won't walk away. Never give them the impression that you're scared to let go of them, right? And I say impression, not don't be fake and, try to put on this front. No, you should not be scared to lose them, right? You have to be willing to walk away if they're not willing to commit to what you require to continue to earn access to your value. Because you have to think about it like this: the right person would never risk losing you in the first place. So if they really wanted to build with you and they were serious towards that, they would be, if not already committing to you, or they would be giving you some clear, trackable dialogue to where there's a game plan and you can follow where they're at and why they're not ready to commit and what the steps are, what the plan is to get to that point of making a decision. And then you will see the actions to follow proactively on their part just as much as yours to work towards that same goal, to where you at least feel comforted and reassured that you're going towards that destination instead of sitting in this limbo space, questioning and wondering when and if. So if you're stuck in this situationship stage or phase and you want to get out to actually have a committed relationship, then email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work as long as you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time or the space or maybe even the resources, then at least email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community, where you can learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace on your own time. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.